Hello, everyone. Happy holidays. Woo, woo.
Hi, everyone. Happy holiday.
Hope you're doing well. Welcome as you're logging on. Let us know where you're coming in from and how you're doing. We're very excited that you're here.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and stream on Facebook. So give me one moment. So while our Zoom folks, well, this is new. Okay, right on. So excited to get started here in a moment. So give us a second here. I love it when they change all of this fun stuff on us. So we are going to Market America. All right, we're going to go live. You hear my bells?
People are loving your Christmas connection. Hi, everyone. So great to hear from you.
All right, we got New York, Virginia, Michigan, Wisconsin, the Bay Area, San Francisco. There we go.
Yes. Ooh, Hawaii.
Yay, Hawaii. I love it. Singapore. Hey, Audrey from Singapore.
Anna's
from Toronto. Wow. So glad you're here. Jeffrey from Connecticut is in the house. All right, Chicagoland. Malaysia. Yay. All right, welcome everyone. We got Arizona, more Malaysia. Excellent. Very fun. Well, we're here to wrap this year up. Can you guys believe that 2021 is, we're just wrapping it up in a bow and saying goodbye. So we're excited for that.
I couldn't believe it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and we're excited for a new year. 2022 is going to bring some pretty exciting things, and so we're going to end this month to on a bang, you guys. There's great things coming yet before we even wrap this year up. So much to celebrate. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get started, and I think we're good on all platforms. So our theme today is to thrive during the holidays. We don't just want to survive them, right? We want to thrive in them. And it's a season of rich foods, beverages, and unwanted pounds come January. And so I always say, if it's predictable, it's preventable. And I know I went years of feeling guilty and gross come January, and I just don't do that anymore. And these tips are proven tips that came from Sosan and I, and also our incredible TLS certified trainers and coaches around the world. So they're proven, they work. You can enjoy the holidays, enjoy some things, but not pay for it come January. So I'm going to start with the first one. And I feel like the first four is really a foundation to the rest of the tips and the rest of the season. And step one is to set a realistic goal. And that means, like, you know what? Hey, there might be a few people on this planet who could get ripped or shredded or lose a bunch of weight during the holiday season, but most of us want to partake in a few things here and there. And so it's a great goal to just say, hey, you know what? I want to maintain. I'm on a 0-pound challenge, this month, or I'm looking to make better choices and thrive this season without any gaining at the end. And I think that's a really great goal, unless, of course, you're gonna crush it, and it's really up to you. But we just want to make sure that it's realistic for you, and only you know that, right? So that's tip number one. Sosan, tip number two.
Plan out your cheat meals. We know that holidays, indulgence, and everything. And one thing is for sure is every year we will have the holiday. It doesn't matter. Is that if we can predict it, we can prevent it.
Absolutely. I'm very curious, y'all.
And that means every year we don't want you to come. Yeah. Yeah. Are you guys getting delayed from us? Just wondering.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
This will be.
I know. Yes. Both of us? From both of us? Yes.
Yeah. Is that both of us or just me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just Sosan.
Just Sosan.
Okay. Shoot. Yeah. We're having a little internet issue. So. Okay. Well, hopefully we can, because we're not catching everything you're saying, Sosan. So I wasn't sure if it was just me. But we're gonna try to smooth this out here. So, so tell us a little bit more. Hopefully it's a little clearer now, Sosan.
Okay, so we want to say plan out your cheat meals, and that comes to holidays always filled with, and in TLS we are not about deprivation, but we are about planning ahead, right? Because exactly, okay, am I going to maybe we always have appetizer, we put the main course, then go for it. No, it still doesn't work.
It's still giving us the gears here, Sosan. So what I'm going to suggest is log off, reset your Wi-Fi, come back in.
Okay.
And because that seemed to work for me. So hopefully it'll work for you. So I'll see you here in a little bit. Okay. Just come on back in. Okay. So plan out your cheat meal. This is, to me, you guys, this is actually the lifesaver for me, because if I do this, if I make a plan and if I make a deal with myself, right? Okay. At tonight's family dinner, tonight's party, or at the family gathering, I'm going to have this. And it might be 1 or 2 beverages, or it might be, I know that, Aunt Trish is making her legendary apple pie. I'm going to have a great big piece of apple pie, right? And that's what I'm going to splurge on, but everything else stays on track. Or I know that, Kathy's making her world famous stuffing and I absolutely love it. So that's what I'm going to, do. So I'm going to forego the desserts. I'm going to forego the beverages, and I'm going to go for the stuffing. Right. So I like to sort of, change it up too. Right. And so like one night it might be beverages and one night it might be, that kind of thing. So I'm not going crazy, because I have gone crazy. I have gone off the rails. I have done it all and just threw the towel in. And for years did that of just no limits, just keep eating and keep drinking and eat, and it just got out of hand. And this has helped me tremendously. And if you don't feel like you can stick to yourself, holy smokers, look at who's here.
Merry Christmas. I just have to be popping in here for a little bit. Melanie, you have grown up to be such a cute little girl. I remember when you were just a little old thing. Oh, what brings me here today, boys and girls, is your TLS program. Well, every year that I get really big after that fateful sleigh ride that I take. I have billions and billions of those cookies and milk. The milk, by the way, I give to the reindeer because I don't like it, but I do love those cookies, and I always gain a few pounds. Well, a few years back, my little elves, I actually found the TLS program for me, and they put me on that TLS program, and I love it. So right now I'm down in sunny Florida. That's why the hat and the shirt, and I got the Aurora Borealis in back of me. That's how I transfer all around through the world real quick. So I just popped back into the North Pole just to get on here and say, I love this program. Let me tell you a little bit about me. Every year I go on this program prior to my milk and cookie night, I call it. And I love the Trim Cafe. This is something I really love. I'll tell you this. I snuck this. See this here?
Oh, for your long night.
Oh, You know, Santa Claus, he loves that hot cocoa, but I'll tell you what, I changed that out for all the little elves. And boy, let me tell you, they're running around like a bunch of little bees and they get those presents out. Chop, chop. All righty. Anyhow. So.
Sosan, we have a special guest.
How are you? So let me tell you what I'm doing. I have always take a few weeks prior to the holiday season, and I always do like you have a 21-day challenge that I just love, and that drops me a few pounds where I can squeeze those millions and millions of cookies in really good. And one thing that helps me keep on track, now I'm from the old school, I use this thing here. I don't know if you still have it, but I keep that thing. That's like my good and naughty list because it keeps me on track every time. So, you know, I just wanted to pop in here and tell you about this. The reason I found out about this tonight was because my little elves gave me a call up on the Santa phone and they told me about Melanie doing this thing. And I just had to share this little bit of information for you all. So I just wanted to pop in here and say this and give you my little story a little bit. I love the Trim Cafe that keeps me just pumping fine and pumping strong and curves those little appetites of those little sweets that I get. But I just wanted to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a happy TLS New Year's.
Yay! Awesome. Well, I can't believe Santa took the time to be, and there's Mrs. Santa right there. Look, beautiful Mrs. Santa.
I know, this is a pretty Miss Santa.
Took the time to be on our thing with as busy as he is preparing for Christmas to let us know how much he loves TLS and has had great success with it. So we, you know, he's going to indulge this, you know, that as well. So, you know, we're all good, you guys. So thanks, Santa, for popping in. We appreciate it. And so we were talking about planning our cheat meals, and we're on to the next one. All right, so let's go number 3, communicate your goals. This is probably the tip that will truly save the day, save the season. And that is to, you know, have the family dinner, have the family meeting around the kitchen table, or just around the kitchen, and just bring everybody in and say, okay, this is what's going on this year. You know, I'm going to do things a little differently than I've done it in the past. And it's going to look like me not eating everything that is, you know, on the buffet or offered to me or things like that. And what would really help me and what support would look like to me is, you know, not telling me, oh, you can just have one. It'll be all right. It won't kill you. You only live once. It'll be all right. It's the Christmas season or it's holidays. Come on, you can just indulge, right? That doesn't look like support. What looks like support is to give me a pat on the back and say, you're doing awesome. What looks like support is to, you know, give me, you know, pass me the healthy plate of food, right? But it's really about letting people know what your goal is and why it's important to you and what support looks like. So it's 3 things. And when you create that support system around you, and this could be friends as well that you know you're going to be spending time with. It could be coworkers who are bringing treats to the workroom. I mean, as many people as you can communicate with to create that support system. Again, goals, why they're important, and what support looks like to you. You're going to have a very different experience this holiday season. Sosan, I think you're doing a little better here. Let's try it.
Let's cross a finger. Learn from past, right? I think the things is, like we said before, we celebrate holidays every single year. And I'm sure we learn something, whether that's overindulgence, whether that is giving in your support, so-called support community was not so supportive. Like you learn from that, right? So I often say, like, since you know what you kind of things that you regret, then this time do a little bit different. You don't need to do a lot of different, just a little bit different, so that you say, hey, let's see how it is. It's a learning progress. It's never perfect, and that's perfectly okay. And that's what TLS is about. It's about constantly readjusting, adjusting, kind of say, okay, maybe this time, if I overindulge on dessert, maybe this time maybe eat a smaller piece to start with and really savor it, right? If you have have a tendency to just go really, really fast, maybe that's the reason why you overate, right? So there's so many strategies, and we often share that. But I think really each of us has different, I guess, weakness, right? Some people have certain dessert that say, oh my God, this is my aunt's like pie that I must have. And other people could be their stuffing. Like for me, it's stuffing. The pie doesn't really appeal to me, but if I know my stuffing and I tend to go to scoop, maybe I have a smaller plate. So there's so many strategies. The key is really learn from a past and make a small slight difference and see how is it differ this time, right? And not go to January feeling regretful or feeling guilty. That's not what it's all about. It's about learning about yourself and going from there.
That's right. I think that's a good point. Is you know, each of us know, you know, our default or our weakness or our tendencies, right? And our own bad habits. We all know that. And so that's a good point, is to just think back and go, okay, like, hey, what are those for me? And how could I do it even just a little bit differently, even 1% better, right? Because it's only 1 degree between not boiling water and boiling water, or, you know, ice cubes or liquid, right? There's only 1 degree there.
Yeah.
And so even if you were just 1%, you know, more on track this year, you're going to have a big experience, a much different experience.
Yes.
Now, the holiday season brings a lot of go, go, go. You know, you're running errands. I don't know about you, but it's already been crazy for me. And it just seems like everything kind of all happens at once. Like I've had a whole bunch of stuff break down. I've had to repair people at the house. I've had delays with furniture being delivered. I mean, it just seems to be this kind of time of year where everything gets kind of crazy. And so what's really crucial during this time is that you've got your big, you know, cooler or your snack size cooler or your purse full of TLS friendly snacks on the go, you know, like a baggie full of carrots or boiled eggs or TLS shake, or, you know, these types of things. Like I love those little cooler bags. And I just don't leave the house, because you know how errands go. You think you're just going to be gone for 45 minutes to an hour, and it's 3 hours later.
Yeah.
And now you're starving.
Yeah.
Right. And you're like, now you don't want to make the healthy dish. You just want to eat whatever is easy to go in the fridge. You guys know this, right? You've been there. So this is why it's important to be prepared, right? I actually did a bunch of prep tonight to make sure I was prepared for the next few days, just for this reason.
Okay, so tip number, I believe number 6, okay, is avoiding snack in the break room at work. Okay, I know when I work in the clinic, and every year during the holiday is, oh my goodness, you know how many patients give us chocolate in our clinic? We have, like, I'm telling you, basket and basket of chocolate and so many snacks, like from shortbread, cookies, and everything. So how do you avoid snack in the break room? Well, one of the things that I would suggest is avoiding to go to the break room too often, because often enough is when you go in, you're more likely to pick on something. That's number 1. Number 2 is bring a healthy TLS snacks, because you know, the TLS nutrition shake, you can make so many delicious snacks, right? And if you bring your own, maybe, okay, you can offer to them so that they can have a healthy version instead of all that chocolate. And at the same time, you know, you can still enjoy your snack with your staff, but you know you have something that's good for you. And if you never had a chance to download in the shaking and baking recipe, there are lots of recipe for you to definitely try, and you will love it.
Awesome. Yeah, so avoid those places where people are leaving their baked goods, right? So smaller plates. This is a good one for the party that has the buffet. I was actually at one for Halloween, and I did just this tip. I just grabbed the little plate and I filled that with the healthiest options that were there, including the one I brought. And that was it. That's what I, because it just, you're there for a few hours and all you do is just like unconscious eating, right? I mean,
Yes.
I used to do that all the time. And what's nice is to just kind of decide like, hey, I'm going to go with a smaller plate. I'm going to have one.
Yes. Well, drink a TLS nutrition shake before the party. How many people said, you know what, I'm going to party, I'm going to eat anyway, so I'm going to save my stomach. Don't do that. Because we know when you starve yourself, when you're hungry, even though you go in with good intention, you more likely will have to surrender to hunger. So never, ever do that. I myself love to do a TLS nutrition shakes because I'm always on the go. I'm so busy. So sometimes I might not even have time to do some baked goods, but it's so easy to whip up a nutrition shakes. And that was my opportunity to add more fiber because we know protein and fiber really not only blunt the glycemic impact, but it makes you feel full longer. And exactly what you want to do because you want to attend the party. You don't necessarily want to eat a lot at the party. So I would say load up on your veggie because we know most party veggie is not a big part of that party food is not always, I mean, there might be a veggie platter, but otherwise it's all mostly protein, cheese, and a lot of sweets, right? So really have a TLS nutrition shake and you'll be quite surprised how less you eat without feeling deprived because you're not hungry.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that really helps avoid this whole munching during the entire party unconsciously is to not congregate in the kitchen or where the food is. And usually the food's in the kitchen, right? It's all like laid out on the kitchen table and the kitchen island. And it's kind of a natural place to want to congregate, right? You've got your glass of wine or whatever, and it's easy to just pick food up and eat it unconsciously. So this is where you decide to, go by the fireplace or sit on the couch with a group of people over there, or, go mingle somewhere else in the house. So you're not congregating by the food. These are kind of survival tips for the holiday parties. We're kind of into those right now.
Okay, which is go back to the party again. So scope up the food ahead of time. I actually do that. I do that all the time because I want to make sure that I save my stomach for food that I want to nourish my body, but I know there will be treats and I want to see what kind of treat and which one I want to have, right? Sometimes it could be dessert. And if I see the dessert, nothing I like, and I know cheese is something that I don't usually have, I might choose the cheese as my indulgence, right? But the key is really survey what the food are available for you to indulge on and decide which one are you going to go and do it. And like Melanie said, along with the smaller plate, it will help so much. And even with the smaller plate, I might add one more, don't stack it. Spread it out. Okay, do a field trip if that means for you to stop eating way too much and way too fast, but also just get some walks, right? Get some steps on at the same time. So I would say definitely take a look at the food before you start loading that your plate with food and eating it so mindlessly, basically.
Yeah, choose your foods wisely, right?
Yes.
Super easy to do because your hand is your guide, is watch your portion sizes. No need for the scale or the the gram measurement scale or the cup or the teaspoon or whatever you need. Just use your hand as a guide for portion sizes, right? So the palm is a good protein size, right? And I have small hands. I'm a small person. Santa probably got a big hand, right? I mean, he's a big guy, right? So he's bigger around, right? Then you've got, I always feel, because I don't do a lot of starches or grains, I do a whole palm full of at least veggies. So it just depends on what you're looking at, but really use your hand as portion sizes when you're out and about and you're, not able to really be necessarily in control of those.
Well, Enjoy TLS trim tea. I myself, especially during the holiday, I always want to make sure before. Remember, I told you before I drive to the party, I will have my shakes. But prior to that, I will probably have my trim tea as well. And the reason by that is because, as we know, trim tea has so many benefits. Well, one of its great benefit, it helps curb appetite and actually increase leptin sensitivity. This is a time that you want your leptin to be a little bit more sensitive so that you feel full when you're supposed to. And at the same time, it actually prevents carb from absorbing as fat, like from storing as fat. So it has so many other benefits. So it's such an easy way to add in. You can do a trim tea or a trim cafe if you wish, but either way, they have the amazing green gold trim. And it's such an easy way to add it. I always say, no matter how busy you are, you can always have a packet of trim tea or trim cafe in your pocket or in your purse, and make sure even when you arrive there, have that drink before anything else, and see how that works for you. You'll find that little bit of change will make a difference at the end of the party, and you realize, oh my God, I'm not stuffed. I'm feeling comfortable and I'm happy.
Yeah, definitely. I love that that these both work, both trim tea and trim cafe work iced or hot.
Yes.
So yummy either way. So if you do decide to indulge in an adult beverage when you're out and about, what we say is avoid the sodas and juices. You know, go with the sparkling waters, the tonic, the or just right up on the rocks. That's how I do it. Just straight up on the rocks with a squeeze of lime and maybe some tonic water or sparkling. Because alcohol is a unique in the sense that it bypasses the typical digestive process. Goes straight to the liver, and as it's processed, basically creates a scenario where you're adding to your waistline very quickly. And it is just one of those things where it has quite a bit of calories. It tends to, when you're mixing with sodas and juices, be high glycemic. So it basically puts us right into fat storage mode. And so if our goal is to maintain and not gain, then we really do want to be cognitive of how many beverages we're having. And just know that over 3 beverages a week will impact weight loss goals. Okay. So I know many of us are not actually looking to lose weight this holiday season, but over 3 a week will impact weight loss goals. There's a little tidbit for you. And Sosan.
Yes, take your core. Okay. If you forgot your trim tea, at least take your core. I myself love my core during the holiday because, you might go from party to party, right? And if that's the case, you might want to have a double support. Why is it double support? This is the dynamic duo. You have that trim tea, which really helps to make the leptin sensitive as well as core. But one works, like the trim tea works in your brain to let your brain lining know that you're full, and one works at your gut. So can you imagine your brain and gut working together? They work amazing. That's why we call them the dynamic duo. They're great. Not only from they have other health benefits, but especially during this time of the year, you would love to have these two dynamic duo to support you, holding you by the hand so that you can go to the party and enjoy the party, and leaving the party feeling great that you did not overindulge, but you still enjoying the party, which is what the parties are about.
Yeah, this is the Batman and Robin of leptin.
Yes.
Right. Which is our I'm full hormone. So yes. We want to be listening to that hormone that says I'm full. And so working with both of them is going to help a lot through this holiday season. Now there's a lot of social pressure. There always is. Friends, family, coworkers, they love to pressure us into eating and drinking more. It's kind of like being, I really equate it, because my parents were smokers. I equate it to when the smoker quits and all the other smokers make them feel bad about it.
So often.
It's so often it happens. And,
yes.
And it happens in this instance as well. People are used to you being the way you are. People, as human nature is to resist change. And when they see you making different choices and doing different things, their human response is to resist that change and bring you back into the fold, into the group, right? Where this is the predictable behavior. And no, it's not because they, want you to not hit your goals. That's not it at all. They love you. Absolutely. This is why tip number 3 is so important, which is communicate your goals. Yes. If you communicate your goals, you're going to have a lot less of this to butt up against. Because this will happen. And here's the thing I want everybody to remember. It's your body, it's your life, and you're the one who gets to live with the consequences of your choices, not anybody else. It's not their life, it's not their body, it's not their choices, and it's not the consequences they have to live with. So you stay strong in who you are and in what you want, because that's the most important thing. And that goes across the board, frankly, in everything and in every area of your life. Stand strong and tall and proud in who you are and what you want to create. No matter what the scenario is, there's a lot of social pressure in the world to begin with, from growing up to even adulthood. So you guys, you got this, and you can have a successful holiday season.
And I love this. Keep exercising. I think like Melanie said, around this time when things get so busy, the last thing people say, I cannot even fit in an exercise, but you can. And no one say that you need to exercise the whole hour. Moving your body does so much for you, not only from reducing or maintaining or managing your stress, but it makes you feel so much better that you're still keeping up with that habit, because it's all about habit forming. Like this morning, I was so rushed and I didn't have time, and I could have easily say, no, it's okay. I mean, I exercised yesterday. I don't need to do it today, but I say, no, I need to maintain that habit. So I did 10 minutes. Nothing much, but at least I know I did something. Tomorrow I can do a bit longer, but if tomorrow's another crazy day, I can do 10 minutes again, and it's okay. The key is just keep moving. Okay, don't use exercise as an excuse to break that habit, because once you break the habit, you all know how hard it is to go and pick that up. I'm more afraid to pick up a habit again than to undo that habit and to start all over again. So I'd rather just keep it up, keep on that winning streak. I don't want to break it up in that sense.
That's a great way of thinking about it, Sosan. I love that. Reward yourself with something other than food. Now, this is a big one for me. I grew up in a European family, and if no matter what the celebration was, food was the celebration, right? So it's like, let's go out for dinner, or let's have a big dinner, or let's have everybody over and eat and drink a lot, right? So there was always just so much food and baking and alcohol, and it was just, so it became a reward system for me. Food was a reward. So what I've learned to do that has absolutely changed my life and helped me create so many cool memories is that I reward myself with things like a new outfit, or tickets to a concert, or going to the spa, or whatever. I mean, guys, a new golf club, or whatever. I mean, truly just something that makes you happy. You could kind of save it up and do a trip. You could, do little things like a new book, or, whatever you need to do. Sometimes I do things where it's like, okay, well, until I do this, I can't watch my favorite Netflix show or Yellowstone. Right? So sometimes I use, because I don't watch a lot of TV. And so I use TV as a reward system now. So that to me has been much healthier than using food as a reward system. So I hope that helps many of you. It's helped me a lot. So then, really important one here.
This is my thing. I talk about sleep all the time, because I want to ask is, how many of you have noticed that when you don't get enough sleep, you have an intense craving the very next day? You notice you suddenly love carb looks much more appealing. You notice that you're hungrier, you're eating more, and you wonder why yesterday you were not like that. There's a very high chance that you were not sleeping that well last night. So make sleep a priority, especially during the holiday, because when we get very busy, we get very stressed, we might think, okay, you know what, let's put the exercise on the bottom list, let's put the sleep on the no. These are exactly what you need to keep you afloat, like not like thrive, basically. So make sleep a priority is so important, because you notice that there's a less struggle for that willpower. It's not the willpower. If you make sleep a priority, there's no need for willpower, because you are okay. But when you don't sleep well, not only your body has didn't have a chance to detoxify, didn't regenerate, you definitely notice more craving. At least for me, I notice when I don't get enough sleep the next day, Sunny, I want a muffin, I want a scone, and this is not my usual thing. I was like, why? And always go back to sleep. So that's why I myself make sleep a huge priority for me.
Well, yeah, and it's not just you, Sosan. I mean, Dr. D has talked about it endlessly. Lack of sleep will disrupt the hormonal balance in the body, including making us, more susceptible to ghrelin and less sensitive to that leptin full hormone. So it does actually have an effect on the body. So it is something to be very diligent about in just for our overall health, but definitely during this season as well. And emotional eating, right? Which is, obviously the holidays, we get to see family we love and family we have to see. Or, just where sometimes things can get a little tense or stressed out, or, we've all had some family politics or a year that was not as good as the other ones or things like that. And so a lot of emotions can be brought up. You've got your well-meaning, Aunt Thelma who's asking you, why haven't you found a man yet? Or, whatever, right? I mean, it's just a crazy time of year, you guys, and it's the best. And sometimes it brings out the worst as well. So just be aware that if one of your habits or defaults is emotional eating, that's that place where just even if you were 1% better and saw that 1% improvement of catching yourself going, hey, I'm stressed out, I'm emotional, I'm anxious right now, I'm angry right now, I'm frustrated right now, and what I really want to do is just annihilate a bag of chips, and so and if we have that awareness, then we can make a shift to go, you know what, I'm gonna have
go for a walk.
Yeah, I'm gonna have stuff. Yeah, go for a walk, call a friend. Because what we often need is connection or self-care. And so calling a great friend, having a great talk, that's a great thing to do. Going for a walk in the fresh air, cuddling with your dog on the couch. If you have one, it's like the best. If you have a kid you can cuddle with still, that's great too. So these are things that help with that kind of emotional roller coaster and connection or self-care. Sometimes a hot bath, or just sometimes it's like, I really want that bag of chips, man. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have celery and peanut butter and raisins instead. So that's an option too.
Well, if you've said, I really want that bag of chips, not just one day, but every day, then we have a solution for you. Then I'm a big fan of ACTS. Both Melanie and I talk about it all the time. And because of that, like, not just the holiday in combination, but knowing that you have something that you can rely on during this time. And it's really taking the ACTS on top of the B complex, because our ACTS are amazing because it made it with a combination of adaptogenic herbs, which help you to rebalance. Whether you're anxious, whether you're feeling moody and you just need that, it just gives you the right need just for you to get you back in balance. And when you're back in balance, you notice that you don't overreact as much. And because when you don't overreact as much, you will not fall into that trap, whether that's bag of chips or for other people, it's a whole tub of ice cream or whatever that is, right? Or even start eating a whole cheese platter, and before you know it, oh my goodness, I finished my cheese platter. So these are things that can be helpful. Aside from a dynamic duo, make ACTS your next best friend.
Yes, especially if stress eating
It's a huge
And
component,
stress is a big part of your experience of the holidays. And it's one of those products that's good. It's not just a weight loss product. This is really good for anybody who's feeling a pretty consistent level of stress, pressure going on in their lives. This is it's an incredible health product.
Yes.
So this tip number 21 here is don't skip meals. This is a really common thing to do. It's like, oh, I'm going to go crazy tomorrow, so I'm going to barely eat anything today. Or, I'm going, for the big family Christmas dinner tonight, so I'm not going to eat anything until the dinner. That is a very common strategy, and it's one that actually hurts your body and your metabolism significantly. So what we end up doing is creating a scenario where you actually might end up eating way more than you ever would have had you not skipped meals. And maybe that's some twisted strategy of yours, but I do have to say that it's really difficult on the body. Okay. It's really hard on the digestive system. And it's really hard on the blood sugar levels and that poor little pancreas. And so we really want to take care of the body and, eat in a consistent manner. And I did this on Thanksgiving. I had this great breakfast. I had this, I make a quinoa oatmeal. I had a great big salad for lunch. I call them my monster salads. And then I made a turkey dinner. On Thursday for Thanksgiving, I made a turkey dinner and I kept my plate and my portions. I'm so proud of myself. Kept it all just so, but I did have a spoonful of stuffing because that was my indulgence. I was like, stuffing, right? So I knew what my indulgence was going to be. I had planned that, but I did not skip meals. And what happens then is we're going to be feeling a whole lot better throughout the day. We have better energy levels, better mood, more balanced blood sugars throughout the day. Our tendency to overeat is way less. And we're really not taxing the body's systems when we, go crazy by skipping meals. We just really don't want to create that, the body going straight into fat storage mode, because a lot of times when we do this strategy, it wouldn't matter if the first thing you put in your mouth is your side salad. I mean, your body, it's gonna spike the blood. It spikes the blood sugar and you're in fat storage mode. So let's not do that one.
And I want to add one more thing is with the skipping meal, people, let's take away the weight loss or the worry about the weight gain thing. How about digestive? And the digestion, just suddenly overload your digestive tract with so much food. It's like driving on a highway, it was empty and suddenly loads of cars trying to go on the same highway. Just think about how it goes down. It will not process very well. You will be stuck there for a while and you will not feel great. So these are things that's for people to be aware. There's so many factors, and that's why we say it doesn't work. Just don't self-sabotage, basically. Okay, bring a healthy dish with you, because in TLS we have so many recipes. If you cannot think of a recipe, use this opportunity to really come up, check out a recipe and say, hey, let me try this thing, and bring a healthy dish with you. I can tell you a lot of time, my friend always joke with me, because every time if I go to a party, they know Sosan is bringing a salad, because every time I go, I said, how come no one's bringing a salad? And they said, because that's your job. And it's okay. I think it's because I'm bringing a salad because I want to make sure that I get my veggie. And most party really don't have salad. It's okay if you do that. And if salad is not your thing, you can bring other type of TLS friendly dish, but at least you have one dish that you can count on and you can enjoy, and you can still try other food, but you have that one dish that you can rely on. I think that's very, very important.
Yeah, I have a salad I like to bring too, actually. It's one of my favorites to bring. I'm with you there. So number 23, wear form-fitting clothing. So it's really common, pull on the Lululemon pants or the Under Armour sweatpants, and you really don't have to watch what you eat or drink when you're wearing clothes like that. But if you wear something kind of form-fitting, gets a little uncomfortable, especially as women. You get that bloat, and suddenly everything's looking a little interesting in that dress. And so I find this is one of those sort of twisted strategies.
It works. It really works. I can
works.
tell you a huge difference. Definitely. I can tell you that, because when you have those loose fitting, you do eat more. And when you have those tight fit, you're more self-conscious and you actually pay attention to what you eat, which is so much better.
I'm eating nothing that causes me gas. I mean, come on, you guys, you know it, right? I mean, ladies especially, you're wearing that form-fitting dress. Come on, we can all have a laugh about that, all right? It's so true. All right. So,
well, yep. So
yeah, go ahead.
basically, when we said eating your meal, the strategy. So when you come down to sitting, we often say start with protein. Why? Because protein is very satiated, and most important thing is when you start with something that's satiated, you're likely to, when you end with starch, you will notice yourself you eat a lot less starch. But when you do the other way around, you might end up stuffing yourself with so much starch that you don't have a lot of space for protein, and you notice, oh my goodness, why did I eat that whole plate of pasta? Switch it, and you can actually don't even need to force yourself to cut down on starch, and you notice that you don't even need that much to fill you up. So the protein is so useful. So when most party always has protein. This is such an easy way to start off with. And I mean, things like Thanksgiving, Christmas is turkey. If there's no turkey, there might be a roast beef or some sort of roast dishes, right? And so this is such a great way. Start with that. For those who have never done it, I would love for you to comment. Try it this year, and let us know how the difference in your overall portion at the end of the party.
Yeah, so you'd start with protein, then you should go to veggies, right? Yeah. So protein, then veggies.
Then starch.
Then starches. Now, if you're gonna do grain, like because a lot of people start with that little butter, like the little butter buns. No, don't do that.
Do the opposite.
Do the opposite.
At the end. Yeah, leave that at the end.
Yeah, first thing you're gonna put in your mouth is a chunk of protein. Right.
Get that meat.
That's right. All right, this is one of my favorites, especially during the holidays, is our what we call our TLS GCGC, and that's green coffee with Garcinia cambogia. And this ingredient of green coffee and svetol and Garcinia cambogia, this svetol is one of the most clinically studied ingredients when it comes to this green coffee, when it comes to green coffee. And one of the things that it does that makes it so powerful during the holiday season, and I call it when you do core, because most people are on core when they're on TLS, because it's such a foundational product of ours, and definitely on it during the holidays, because we know we're all eating a little more carbs, right? So core and green coffee are like the Batman and Robin of the holiday season, because core helps inhibit those excess carbs we're intaking, and green coffee helps inhibit sugar from turning into fat, but also helps your body burn fat as fuel. So you've got like it working on body composition as well. And so I always say, man, you got to get your green coffee in October and be on it through January at least, right? Like, so you got your 3 months of Batman and Robin when it comes to the holiday season to really support your body. And both core and green coffee will help and support, obviously proper metabolism and all that fun stuff, and blood sugar levels. Both of them have that benefit. But also the, what am I getting at here is, may suppress appetite. So you've got this thing where the holiday season is this slippery slope of more and more and more overeating. And that's a real thing, because the more we overindulge, the more we can. And it's like an elastic band. right? And you stretch the elastic band, and guess what? It never goes back to the way it is. It's a little looser, it's a little bigger, and that's kind of how the stomach works. That's kind of how, you know, for those of us who do have the obesity gene, right? It doesn't take much much overindulgence and much cheating for that slippery slope to happen, and we're off to the races. And I find that when I take my core and green coffee, I don't have that slippery slope, because I don't even get to that point, because of the incredible benefits of both of these products. So Batman and Robin, baby, you gotta have them at your side during the holiday season.
Well, as last Tuesday, I did a mindful eating. So I'm all about mindful eating because I think we eat way too fast. And I don't know many people who eat slow. I really don't know. A lot of time we inhale our food. I think partly because of the lifestyle we have, we always go, 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 go. And we train ourselves to eat fast. So for us to eat slow, it's hard. I have to have people say, I don't even know how to eat slow because that's always been the pace. And I often say, if possible, when you eat and when you maybe chit-chatting and connecting with people, when you eat, take one bite and literally put your fork down, chew it, savor it, taste it, swallow it, then take another bite. I know it's like, Sosan, you tell me to know how to, I know how to eat. I know you know how to eat. We all know how to eat. By doing this, it really helped because you find yourself actually feeling full with a lot less food because you were eating way too fast. Your brain didn't have time to say, hey, enough. You're eating way too fast. So try eating slowly. So one is that I used to joke around with some of my friends who does not know how to use chopsticks. I said, you should start eating with chopstick. You will slow down for sure. Or eating with your left hand if you're right-handed. That's another way of doing it. But the simplest is really eating it. Put your fork down and go from there.
I like that one. That's a good one. Okay, you'll thank us the next day for this one.
Yes.
If you are going to partake in beverages one night as your indulgence, then just make sure you have a glass of water between each cocktail. Make that your deal, make that your strategy. You'll feel better the next day. And there's a lot of benefits to doing this, of course, but it's a great strategy. Definitely recommend it.
Say positive affirmation daily. I think it's very important time. Like it's an important time not only for you to set your goal, but for you to remind yourself of your goal, right? So by saying that I can do hard things, I'm sticking with my commitment, and because my health is worth it. I work so hard for my health, and I want to continue on it. Anything that keeps you moving is so important because sometimes we get so busy and when we're stressed, sometimes these little positive affirmation really sets as a great reminder that it's, it's okay, it's challenging. But if we have these positive affirmation, I myself, sometimes I naturally just say, just do it. You know how the Nike thing, and I love it. I said, just do it. And you find that there's something so powerful of you telling that to yourself. So be sure to continue saying positive affirmation and say whatever that works for you. It could be just do it, or you're worth it. I can do hard things. I can overcome challenges. And this year, this holiday will be different. It will be different because I will made it so, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have some TLS veterans on the line here, and I know they probably have some good affirmations as well. Actually, Kitty is sharing one that I had shared. Making myself a priority with TLS is the best thing I can do for myself, my health, and my loved one. Yes. That's right. I control food. Food doesn't control me.
Yes.
That's a good one. I am stronger than my cravings.
Yes, I'm stronger than my cravings.
Mm-hmm. I deserve to be the healthiest version of myself.
And yeah.
And my new habits are getting me there. I love that. Yes. Thank you for writing those in. Yeah, those are great things. Affirmations are so, so important, you guys. Yes. This is so, write them on little Post-it notes, put them around your house, put one on your screen saver on your phone, exactly. Not just during the holiday season. It just happens to be a challenging time for many people when it comes to food habits. And so something specific to this season is a nice thing to kind of have in front of you as much as possible, like a screensaver or a little note in the car or in your wallet. So you see it over and over and over again. Yeah. It's such a great strategy. All right, number 29. One of the great things about TLS is we have multiple programs with multiple sort of different options for people, in the sense of, where your commitment level is, how flexible you want to be. And so this is where I feel like this takes a lot of guilt out of the season, because if you have been on, phase 2, or you've been on rapid results, or you've been on fat shredder, and you're going into the season and you have like just a little bit of something, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm off track. And it's like, no, you're not. You're just on Sure and Steady.
That's right.
Like, you're not off track at all. You're doing just fine. All right. Just as long as you keep it to 1 serving a day, you're on Sure and Steady. It's all good. So you're actually not off track. You're not cheating. You're not sabotaging your results. So if you weren't aware, Sure and Steady and Continued Commitment are our most lenient programs. Yeah. And so if that makes this the 1% better, is being and sticking to something like Sure and Steady and Continued Commitment, it could be a great way to go, I stuck to TLS and I still really enjoyed the program. So you take the guilt out of the season. You get to enjoy this, a grain, a starch, a serving of dairy, these types of things that maybe you weren't on if you were on one of our stricter plans. So this is where you get to utilize it. And when you really know the plans well, like Sosan and I do, I often tell people, I'm phase 2 during the week, or rapid results during the week, and Sure and Steady on the weekends. Yeah. Right. So I like to have a little this and that on the weekends. And so it's a great way to feel good about what you're doing, and not, essentially pull out the whipping chain. No need to do that, you guys. Not necessary.
There's no need to that. Well, last but not least, keep the main thing, because we always say, yes, holiday, there's food and there's celebration and there's a lot of goodies and everything. But think about what's holidays about. For my kids, honestly, it's not food, it's the present. That's all they care about. So you'd be surprised. This maybe for adult might be food, because we love food, right? And it's perfectly okay. But really keep the main thing. What's about the holidays? Spending time with a loved one, like reconnect again. Maybe just to revisit your friends, or because you got been so busy, and maybe the holidays a chance for you to, hey, I need to reconnect again and enjoy each other's company, have conversation, gathering. So it does not need to make food the main thing, right? Like I said before, like my kids, if you ask them what's Christmas all about, all they remember is that gift, and on December 25th to open the gift. That's all they remember, and that would be great. So we want to say, keep the main thing. Just focus, stay strong, and don't set high expectation. Just to be realistic, but plan ahead. So that's really what we want to share with you.
Absolutely, you guys. We just want to wish you a very blessed, very happy holiday season. I wish you a lot of love and connection this season with the people that you love and care about. Wish you a healthy holiday season. And Sosan and I feel very blessed and grateful to be part of this TLS community and family. We have enjoyed, serving you here with these incredible corporate Zooms every month. And we have some really exciting things coming up in the new year. So I just want to end with letting you know you need to mark your calendar, because Sosan and I will do an occasional monthly Zoom, but they won't be happening for the first few months of the year, because guess what? We're going to do a 12-week program for you. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. It's going to be called the TLS Team Tone Up Challenge. It's 12 weeks of support. It's open to everyone. It's in US, Canada, UK, Australia. It starts Monday, January 24th. Now, of course, If you want to start your TLS program before that, fantastic. Just pop in on our program. Start early, that's fine. Simply register by January 17th. It is a team registration. So the reason we're doing this in the honor of our fearless leader, Dennis Franks, you know, he loved team, you know, the team concept, right? I mean, the guy was, you know, just incredible when it came to not only leading a team, but being a part of one, you know, not a better team player out there. And so we also know that statistics and studies have proven that when you do a program with someone, you're actually going to get much better results. There's actually numbers to this, and I don't have them in front of me, but we'll definitely share them with you. So grab a friend, grab a coworker, grab a bunch, but it's a team of 2 or more. And so more information will come on how you register. We'll be doing weekly Zooms for 12 weeks, and it'll be open to everyone. And there'll be no purchase required for that. However, we will be doing a private group, in which case that private group, there is purchase required to be a part of that. If you want daily motivation, the ability to ask questions, you know, have more interaction with us and our TLS coaches and trainers, then purchase is required for the private group. So either way, we are super excited and stoked to support you with our TLS Team Tone Up Challenge. Starting officially January 24th, and more information to come, but we definitely wanted to let you guys know about it so you could participate, and we just appreciate all of you. So thank you so much for being here.
Wishing everyone a holiday. Bye, everyone.
Bye for now.